Okay, so this is my basement, and I don't have a whole heck of a lot of space left to go do stuff or put stuff in. My big area over here is destined for a, what do you call it, a shuffleboard. I've got home theater over here, so not a whole heck of a lot of floor space. Therefore, I'm going to put a model railroad up in my ceiling. I just inherited this stuff from my dad. I made that case there. And I've got a few really nice pieces, and I've got some stuff I haven't unpacked yet, and on and on. So what I'm going to do is suspend it from the ceiling. I've already broken through the wall here, you can see, and it goes out through the other side there. And again, suspended from the ceiling, this is more or less the track, what do you call it, where the road bed will be. I'm going to suspend this. This isn't actually going to be on the ceiling, but the ceiling is the only thing that wasn't, covered in furniture. So I taped up wood there, or taped up paper there, and I'll be cutting out bits of wood there. In reality, it's going to be below this section here. That's my ducting and all the forced air and so forth. And the intended route is through here and there, across the wide open expanse, and then back over again through here. I'm going to break through this wall up here. That's where my hot water heater is. And let's see if there's a light in there. I don't think there is. No. Anyway, and then up through the ceiling in there, again back around, and that's that. I've already cut up a bunch of pieces. I've got some stuff that I've already got on standby. I've got this, what you call a threaded bar stock, I guess. That's going to more or less be what I'm suspending the road bed from, and drywall anchors. Drywall anchors are good for 57 pounds per square inch of holding power, so I'm not going to worry about very light stuff. And I've got some nylock nuts and some other stuff. So I have no idea how long this will take me, but I've got quite a project here. Once I get the road bed installed, or the suspension portion installed, I'll start doing the cork road bed and track and everything else. I've got the standard track HO scale, and I've got track joiners, I've got a couple of transformers and a whole bunch of other stuff. So until next time. So I've transferred this piece of paper off to my living room, and I've traced it out into the curves I've needed to a width of 6 inches, as you can see here. I put them on my, I think it's 5/8 piece of pine into, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 major pieces, and I'm going to cut them up with my little jigsaw there. I've already got some pieces that I've cut up at 6 inches wide. I think I got one piece that's a little bit less because of the width of the board I was using, but it's this that's going to be facing downward, so that as you look up, you've got a rather pleasantly looking, stained out anyway, piece of road bed. I'll paint the sides black so it kind of blends with what I've already got, and you'll see why in a bit. But get to cutting, and I'll show you the pieces. Okay, so I'm done with the jigsawed pieces out. I put one more piece of 5/8 pine down as a workbench. I'm going to stain this tonight, maybe do a second coat of it tomorrow, and start mounting these things. It took me a good hour to damn well cut these things. It was a pain in the ass, but such is life, I guess. I'll continue this and probably mount this stuff up first before I continue on with any more tracing and cutting and sizing and stuff. So stand by for more. Alright, well, I'm ready to go. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that I have I've cut. I've got another one here that from previously done. As you can see, that more or less matches that in color. These are the ones I custom cut. I'm going to be hanging these from the ceiling, like I say, with threaded bar stock. I know there's a better name for it, which is this stuff here. And I'm going to be using, what do you call these things? Oh hell, I bought about 20 bucks worth of these things from the hardware store today. I'll punch a hole through the ceiling and put this up. I'm going to cut this to the correct length, and then I will put up the bits and things and pieces that'll hold all those road bed for wood things together. In areas where I can't punch a hole through the drywall in the ceiling, where it abuts a 2x4 or other structural part for all that drywall, I'm going to just use straight, no kidding, what the hell are they? These things. So there's my Dremel. I'll be cutting this here in a bit, and more or less, whether I use those kinds of anchors or I do something like this, this is going to hit the ceiling first, and it's going to be, covering up the holes or whatever, mount points I've got. I'll have another screw or another nut right there to keep it nice and steady, so the whole thing doesn't waggle back and forth and sway. And on the areas where I'm drilling directly into a 2x4, I'll just drive a couple pilot holes through this and attach it directly to the ceiling. I've got nylock nuts here. I've got a whole bag of those too, and these things are going nowhere once they're in. They're in. How will I know with my car? And again, I'll have to bang up a pilot hole in the ceiling if I have to go that route. But once it's all in and it's hanging and it's good to go, you'll understand. I think you'll have a better idea of how it'll look. So I'm going to start that area there first, most likely, and right there up against the ceiling, the floor. God damn it! The ceiling, the wall, and the thing that covers all of my ventilation stuff here. I'm going to be drilling that into the ceiling, and I know well enough that wherever there's drywall, at that seam there, you've got to have a piece of 2x4 or other lumber to hold it all together. So I'm reasonably confident that I will have the area that I need, the wood that I need, in the ceiling itself. Now, normally I would drill into the ceiling and put these kinds of anchors in there, but I know better. Looking up in my ceiling, I've got not only ducting in some areas, I've also got my sprinkler system. And God frickin' help me if I drilled a hole through one of the pipes. So I'll be using that and a hammer to knock the hole through the empty portions of the drywall for those kinds of hangers. And you'll see how this goes.